They are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought, I ask you to think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them, that their Social Security check was too high, that teachers are paid too much. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?
Senators Tim Roy and Ted Cruz delivered a scathing rebuttal to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez following her impassioned speech on the House floor. As AOC advocated for her progressive policies, the two conservatives countered with sharp arguments, defending constitutional principles and challenging what they called the radical left's contradictions. Their exchange highlighted a deep ideological divide and served as a powerful reminder that, in their view, America must stand firmly for freedom over the lure of socialism.
President Biden already lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion. They say his budget would cut the deficit by another $3 trillion by eliminating wasteful spending on big oil and pharma, we're told. But it is in fact our Democratic colleagues who prefer to maintain their massive subsidies for the elites and the wealthy in their so-called Inflation Reduction Act just last year. My friend from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, said, quote, "I ask you, think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?" I'll say it. I'll say it right here. I don't want the government doing most of the things that the government is doing to interfere with the ability of the American people to carry out their lives. Federal, state, and local. When was the last time you had a bureaucrat show up and you said, "Oh joy, thank you. I'm really glad there's a bureaucrat here"? When was the last time you were thankful for $32 trillion in debt, $100,000 almost for every man, woman, and child in America? Anybody thankful for $32 trillion in debt? Anybody? Anybody thankful for a border that's wide open being exploited by cartels while fentanyl comes in and kills our children? Everybody thankful for that Department of Homeland Security that doesn't actually secure the homeland? Everybody thankful for an FBI that went after Scott Smith and labeled him a domestic terrorist for daring to defend his daughter in a school board meeting because she was assaulted in a bathroom? Anybody thankful for the IRS knocking on your door, auditing the poor and the minorities 3 to 5 times more? People thankful for that? Are you thankful for the EPA or the Department of Interior that sent a man to prison because he had some ponds on his ranch in Montana? We have a government that is weaponized against the American people and is undermining our liberties, and they want more of it. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle want more government. They want more taxes. They want more spending. They want more bureaucrats knocking on your door.
I'll tell you, I've been to the border. I've been to the Biden cages. For 4 years, Democrats went on and on and on. The corrupt corporate media went on and on and on about kids in cages. You couldn't turn on the evening news without hearing kids in cages. What they didn't tell you is Barack Obama built those cages, and today under Joe Biden, the cages are bigger and they're more full than they were before. Mr. President, every Democrat who stood up and lamented kids in cages in the House of Representatives, Representative Ocasio-Cortez has a famous photo of her grasping her head by the kids in cages. Well, I'm going to give a simple challenge for Representative Ocasio-Cortez and for every Democrat in this body. Go see the Biden cages with your own eyes. I've seen them, the Donna tent facility with over 4,000 people with little boys and little girls on top of each other. Just a couple of weeks ago when I was in the Rio Grande Valley, the rate of COVID positivity in the Biden cages was over 22%. And all the Democrats who talked about this, if they don't go, if they don't denounce the Biden cages, then they're telling you that that they're hypocrites. That they didn't believe it when they said it, that they didn't care about it when they said it, that it was all politics. It wasn't about their kids. Why does Joe Biden refuse to go to the Rio Grande Valley? Because if he goes, the TV cameras will come with him. Why does Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be the border czar, she's supposed to be in charge of this, why won't she go to the Rio Grande Valley? Because if she went, the TV cameras would come and would show the Biden cages. And the Democrats are counting on the corrupt corporate media to suddenly say nothing to see here. 15,000 Haitians under a bridge in Del Rio, nothing to see here. Anyone want to know what Joe Biden's favorite ice cream flavor is? That's the news. Never mind 1.2 million illegal immigrants. Never mind when I took 19 senators down to the border, we went out on the river and saw a man floating dead in the river who died trying to cross illegally. Never mind the South Texas farmers and ranchers, the moms who told me, I won't let my teenage kids go out on our ranch without being armed with a loaded firearm. Because there's so many human traffickers and narcotics traffickers that it's dangerous for them to go out on their own ranch. Never mind the South Texas farmers and ranchers who told me at roundtables how tired they are of going out and finding dead bodies. You want to understand what's happening? Say there's no crisis? Come to Brooks County. I invite every Democrat here to Brooks County. Brooks County in South Texas, it's just north of the border. Brooks County, over and over and over again, they're dead bodies of illegal immigrants. The traffickers who are bringing them in, they're not nice guys. They're not humanitarians. They don't give a damn. That means if one of the illegal immigrants is a pregnant woman, is a young child, is elderly, is sick, they just abandon them. They leave them in the rough terrain, in the summer heat, and over again. Farmers and ranchers encounter dead bodies on their property, or the traffickers have abandoned them. Mr. President, I ask you, is that humane? Is that compassionate, the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris policy that encourages, that puts people in harm's way and results in people dying? When we were down on the border, we saw a young girl who had been gang raped by the human traffickers who had brought her to America. The rate of sexual assault is staggering, particularly among...
What went down in Congress today is the perfect snapshot of why America is locked in a battle for its very soul. AOC took the floor expecting another viral emotional blast, tailor-made for Twitter and the liberal media echo chamber. She attacked capitalism, demanded more government control, and claimed to champion the working class, all while backing policies that would crush the very people she says she defends. But today, she didn't leave to applause. She left humiliated. Her arguments were dismantled, her hypocrisy exposed, and her moral high ground shattered by two conservative powerhouses, Chip Roy and Senator Ted Cruz. Together, they delivered a brutal 1-2 knockout of logic, principle, and truth that AOC couldn't survive. Let's break it down. AOC railed against the system, insisted capitalism had failed, and argued we need massive government intervention to save everything, from inequality to climate. She revived her Green New Deal doomsday pitch, collapse, catastrophe, energy surrender to global bureaucrats. She played the familiar card, the rich don't pay their fair share, ignoring that top earners already shoulder much of the tax burden. Her speech was driven by ideology and emotion, not facts. That's where Chip Roy tore in. With Texas grit and sharp clarity, he slashed through her narrative. Freedom is not negotiable. Who pays? Who loses when government overreaches? Who benefits when DC grows bigger? Roy made it clear, America doesn't want socialism. We don't want bureaucrats in DC running our lives. We want to work, build, dream, with liberty, not chains. You could see the confidence draining from AOC's face as Roy's words landed like thunder. Then Cruz delivered the hammer. He picked apart her speech piece by piece, exposing every logical gap. He reminded everyone that capitalism isn't the enemy. It's the engine that lifted billions out of poverty. He called out her hypocrisy, railing against billionaires while building her own brand. He excoriated the absurdities of her climate agenda, jobs destroyed, energy costs spiking, dependence on foreign powers. He blasted her fixation on redistribution, insisting America will flourish when we reward innovation, not punish success for political gain. His most powerful move? Invoking the Constitution. It's not up for revision by radicals. He reminded us that America was built on eternal principles: free speech, limited government, individual rights, rule of law. AOC and her allies want to rewrite that. Cruz made clear, while patriots breathe, this nation won't be hijacked. The contrast was glaring. AOC, emotional, radical, craving dependence. Roy and Cruz, firm, principled, defenders of liberty and the Constitution. They didn't just press back on one speech, they defended the idea of America itself. The radical left fears strong conservatives for truth, conviction, and courage. AOC thought she'd control the narrative today. Roy and Cruz turned the spotlight back on her and revealed the emptiness of her vision. This isn't a single debate. It's a crossroads. Do we lean into socialism and central control, or do we return to what made this nation great: freedom, faith, effort, hope? Today should fire up every patriot. Leaders like Roy and Cruz, standing tall, remind us. Socialism destroys, freedom builds. Let AOC talk. Every time she does, patriots will be ready. Ready to speak truth. Ready to defend. Ready to preserve this nation's soul. America will never bow to socialism.